Amy, are we live? Well, good morning to everyone. How are you doing on this beautiful so far day? It's nice out there. I put the windows down. This right here, looking good. Well, if you would please stand and join us for our very first song. It's Eddie Watkins' We Come Together. Now, this song has a lot of looking at each other's and saying namaste to each other's and stuff. If you're uncomfortable doing that, I totally understand. That's why I escaped to the stage. So just be happy, and let's kick this. What's that? So you say it to me. That's right. I'll keep my eyes closed.
Yeah. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves me and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
If you would please join us in our statement of faith. All together now. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Our second song is The Greatest Thing by Mark Pendergrass.
I want to give a shout out to Jacob Burr, who usually makes us sound good back there at the soundboard. And Denny couldn't make it today on drums, and we miss you, Denny. But Jacob said, hey, maybe I can sit in on drums, and he's doing an awesome job, and we really appreciate it. So now he's making us sound good by playing the drums with us right here on stage.
Fantastic.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you.
Be seated. Good morning. Oh my God, such a better day, well, at least for now. Okay. Please check in on Facebook. Tell your friends you're here. Invite them to come join you. And then please silence them, because I say it every time, but that person just ignores me, and then it goes ding. We hear it later during meditation. We are currently asking you to wear a mask while you're in the building, whether you've been vaccinated or not. And these absolutely stunning flowers were provided by Cindy Driver in celebration of spirit. And our mission statement is on the screen. Together, our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. And please join me in speaking today's affirmation from the Daily Word. I use my gifts to bless others. Life is always in motion, from a subatomic particle to the galaxy, from the small one-celled creature to the entire universe. Life itself is always moving, changing, and evolving. If I want to participate in the joy of creation, I must set myself in motion as well. I move into action by first taking stock of my intuitive guidance, so my every action is spiritually directed. In this moment, I become quiet and ask, what is mine to do? Rising from my inner stillness, I feel a sure and calming sense of divine support and direction. I know what is mine to do that will support and enhance the lives of others. I gratefully serve to prepare a place for future congregants to learn and grow, just as those before me have prepared this place for my spiritual growth. I connect with others to eliminate feelings of separation, disconnectedness, loneliness, while at the same time performing tasks that support our mission. I experience the full joy of living by taking divinely inspired action to serve others. And our scriptures are Matthew 25, 40, and 45. Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. And let's repeat the affirmation together. I use my gifts to bless others. During prayer and meditation, please hold the following in prayer for the highest and best experience in life. Stephanie, Steve, Brandy, Jessica, Jim and Jane, Rod, Sharon, Z, Jim, Joan, Linda, Brenda, Eric, Cindy, Linda, Tom, Mary Lou, Jenny, Fern, Joshua, Jeremy, and all who enter your mind. Allow your body and mind to relax as the peace-filled tones of the prayer bowl fill the sanctuary in preparation for our time of prayer and meditation. As the sound and vibration from the prayer bowl begin to fade away, we center our minds on God, the one power, the one presence. We unite in breathing deeply, focusing our attention and letting go of sounds and movement all around us. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Starting at the top of your head, allow your focus to check your head, face, and features. Your neck, shoulders, relaxing each as you move through them. Follow it and relax your arms, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Return your attention to your heart and lungs, to the movement of life within you. Allow your focus to travel down to your abdominal area, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and toes. We choose to be grateful for the perfection and functions of our organs, our bodies, our health. Inhale, hold, and exhale. For those whom prayer was requested, and for ourselves, our families and friends, our loved ones, this country and all countries, we affirm health and healing, abundance, food, clothing, and shelter. May each and everyone feel loved, respected, accepted, and valued for who they are. We are thankful for those who prepared the spiritual community to welcome us, and we serve in turn to ensure a spiritual home for those that follow. We are here to enjoy life and support others to live their best life. We are here to be the peace we seek and to share the energy of peace all around us. Resting in our consciousness of prayer, allowing our relaxation and prayerfulness to remain, we continue into meditation. Continue relaxing in your chair. Take a deep breath in and out. Again, in and out. As you continue slow and gentle breathing, do your self-check. Is your jaw relaxed? Are your shoulders drooping a little? Are your hands open and relaxed? Is your body sitting heavy in the chair? Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. As you imagine yourself sitting in a soft chair in your favorite room of your house, you can smell the light scent of your favorite candle. It's quiet and you have the whole house to yourself. Your busy schedule in life is on hold at this moment. The only thing of importance is this moment right now. You sit and cherish this quiet gift of time. As you look outside the window, you notice an occasional raindrop. It's cloudy and looks gray and cold outside. A perfect day to be sitting in your chair with a blanket protecting you from any chill in the air. And as you drink your favorite warm beverage, feel the warmth in your mouth, throat, and into your body as you swallow. It warms your whole body, and you can almost hear your body say, "Thank you." As you continue to relax in your chair, you notice that an occasional raindrop has increased to a gentle falling rain. The rain is dripping off the leaves of the trees, and some leaves are falling, just coating the ground. You smile as you know when the sun comes out, there'll be a carpet of vibrant color to see and enjoy. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Continue to sit and relax. Let yourself feel the coziness of the moment. You know that rain is needed to nourish the ground and all the things the ground itself nourishes, like flowers and grass. One drop couldn't do that by itself. It takes many drops to get the job done. As in life, things get done quicker when it's done with more than one person. Just like the rain that nourishes things and helps things like ponds fill and rivers run, when people do things together, it not only gets things done, but it also nourishes your body and mind. It improves your mood. It takes away any loneliness or sadness. Helping others makes your life better and more meaningful. The friends that you make while helping is just an additional bonus. The feeling of gratitude that comes over you when you help someone will make your heart feel like it just had a hug, or your body feel like you just drank something warm. The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. What talents do you have that could be used to make someone else's life easier? Could make a place or situation better? Make your life more meaningful. There is no better gift than the gift of helping someone. And now, as you enter in a few minutes of silence, continue to relax and breathe slowly. How can you improve your life by helping others? Think about how blessed your life is and how you can pay that gratitude forward in the silence.
Simone, I heard you almost say continue on into medication. I heard you like, I was like,
yeah.
Freudian slip there, Simone. Yeah.
Yes.
So our first special is going to be What Would Love Do Now by Eddie Watkins Jr., featuring Mr. John Russ on that big old delicious jumbo 12-string guitar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 1, 2. Just before you say something you can't take away, take a breath and let it out, and try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? 'Cause everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all that is. It's real, whether right or wrong. Doesn't matter just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? 'Cause everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all there is. It's real. Cause everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all that is. It's real, whether right or wrong. Doesn't matter just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now?
Mr. John Russ.
No. Well, I may leave it close by.
Okay.
Good morning, I'm getting ready. I'll be with you in a minute. Thanks, Mitch. Take a deep breath. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see all those shining, smiling faces out there. And also, good morning to you online. Perhaps you're drinking coffee in your PJs, because that's what I would be doing if I were home. Here are a few church signs to lighten your day. God recycles. She made you from dust. Whoop. The second, Lord, help us to be the people that our dogs think we are. I see a lot of head shaking, yes. And the last, don't let worries kill you, let the church help. All right, what's that got to do with the talk? No, nothing. I just thought it would lighten up the morning a little bit. My mentor is Reverend Mary Omwake. She's the one that taught me my Unity principles and started my life in Unity. And she said, and there's another PowerPoint, whoops. There she is with Ram Dass, a dear friend of hers. And if you notice, before that, she was with the Dalai Lama. I don't know why she didn't take me with her, but she didn't. Mary said that all service is an act of devotion to God, and it's essential to one's spiritual growth. Mary believed that those who actively serve in their gifted areas come to know and love one another in a very deep and profound way, creating a sacred sense of family. The volunteers shared joy, and they said that their sense of self-confidence increased dramatically through the service that they gave. And at Mary's church, 80% of the attendees and the members and the congregants, all of them, 80% were volunteers. Every Sunday service we have, every social event, every class, every fundraiser has not only the goal of creating openings for people to experience their inner Christ, but it contains 4 essential components that are the foundation of a ministry and must be present for us to create an effective field of love for the Holy Spirit to move through us. The first is inspiration, for the opening to know God, to experience the presence within. The second is education, to learn spiritual principles, tools, and techniques of transformation. The third is community, to create experiences in loving one another, serving at the Sunday service, to become prayer partners in classes and retreats. All are supported by volunteers who may check you in, sell you a t-shirt, greet you, answer questions, be your musicians, which are several, technicians who monitor what's going on in the service, and it isn't a task that should make you sacrifice or feel obligated to do. It's not that at all. If it is, if you're not loving what you're doing in service, then it's not your avenue to serve. It's not where you want to be. If you can't do it in great harmony and great joy, then find something else that you can volunteer for. Service is as important in advancing on our spiritual path as is prayer, forgiveness, giving of our financial resources. We see that actively sharing our special talents and services is essential, and we're blessed through this. When asked to volunteer in some way, your no is every bit as important as your yes. It may be that it's not convenient at this time. You may want to do it later, but right now, because of responsibilities or your health, your work, your family, etc., it's just not the right time for you. That's not to say that when you do volunteer, it's not supposed to stretch you a little bit, stretch you outside your comfort zone. I still remember some of my first times that I volunteered, and what a big stretch it was. Every church I've been in, congregants believe there are cliques running the church. Now, I haven't heard that here, but I usually don't hear gossip. They're not cliques, they're volunteers. And that's what's so funny about it. They met because they were serving. They served together. They learned more about each other. They talked about their families. They became friends. They had common interests and experiences. They are the same as every one of us here, but they have chosen to serve together. You will find all the benefits of volunteerism and realize that it is not a clique, but a group of like-minded people who share common interest in using their gifts and their talents. These people that you see volunteering all around have had the same trials and tribulations any of us have, the same ups and downs, the health challenges, losses of loved ones, loneliness, feeling separated that you and I have. But you know, also, they've shared the same experiences of joy that we have. They have been present for births in the family, graduations, weddings, holidays, job promotions, finding love, finding that perfect person, friends, hobbies, and travel. We all have so much to share, and we find we are far more similar than we are different. There are also a lot of ways to volunteer here at Unity of Springfield, things you've never even thought of. Our board members are volunteers who give a lot of hours behind the scenes serving. But also, you see them teaching classes. They're ushers, they're greeters, they play in the band, they work with me on finances, they are doing the grounds cleanup, and more. Paula Armconnect was appointed to the board to fill out a term for someone who resigned, and that was 2 years. She's been reelected or elected twice for 3-year terms, and so she is in her 8th year of serving on the board. There's a couple more that have also served for 8 years, Mary Hilzebeck Huber and Simone Height, both. Ushers and Greeters. The Ushers and Greeters are our hostesses who welcome everyone from longtime congregants, people who have come back, newcomers. They don't know where to take the kids to the Sunday school. They don't know where Fellowship Hall is. They don't know where the bathrooms are. And so our Ushers and Greeters are there to help direct them and make them feel welcome. I've said before, Norma Jean, I remember the lady that greeted me when I walked through those front doors and gave me a hug. Again, head shaking. Ushers and greeters are often the very first face that people see when they come in our doors as newcomers. They will later remember who greeted them, who may have given them a hug or just greeted them warmly and made them feel like they fit and that they were welcome. They felt like they had come home, like many of us when we entered here. Our volunteers maintain the sanitary conditions of the kitchen. Recently, Linda Hilton and Stella Wilbur spent hours cleaning and organizing the kitchen. Our lending library probably doesn't get the attention that it could, and if you love books, volunteer to straighten the books and keep them in order. Do you know where the lending library is? If not, when you step in to sign up to volunteer, I'll show you. There's no limit. You can keep the book as long as you want. If we never see it again, then you're welcome for the gift. Board members and former board members have been sharing the children's Sunday school while we're watching and looking for the perfect director for our junior Sunday school. The optimal goal is to always have a man and a woman, and eventually 2 of each back there with the children. Are you a retired school teacher? Do you just love kids? Or perhaps you miss your grandchildren because they live in far off states. The directorship, which we are presently looking for the right perfect person, is a part-time paid position. Tom Long, dear Tom Long, he has been an usher and a greeter at the New Thought World Religions class. He led and hosted the Tuesday morning book group for years, Many of you will remember, Tom Long stood outside no matter what the weather was. He was out there saying hello, welcome, and opening the door for you. Simone Height has been the team leader for the Ushers and Greeters for a number of years. Jim Matthews, he led the Sunday evening meditation group for years. Mary Lou Rao, she oversaw the indoor yard sales for many years, and before her, Patsy Button. Now, Mary Hilzebeck, Huber, and Lisa Landrigan. Where is Lisa? Oh, I think she's sitting up. They have served in the capacity for our indoor yard sales. And you know, we find it's not even necessary to have sign-up sheets when we have the indoor yard sales, because miraculously, magically, volunteers show up to sort, to display, to mark the price, to sell, and pack the leftovers. For years, Susan Dempsey was the kitchen police. Or we also called her the potluck person. Thank you. Thanks. And she also picks up parts of the talk that don't need to be on the floor. But before Susan Dempsey was a kitchen police or worked our potlucks, Royce Cordes had been years before her. And we did call Royce the kitchen police. But we wouldn't have the kitchen that we have in there if it hadn't been for Royce pushing for the things we have. Our friend Alex Tryanowski, she was a scheduler for the receptionists until her health declined. And Fern Weber served as a receptionist, as did Mary Lou Rao, until COVID struck and closed our doors. John Merrifield was a music director on Wednesday evenings for many years. Susan Springer has led A Course in Miracles, and Susan Dempsey and Wendy and Don Fredrickson have led the Abraham Hicks groups for many years. We call on Blaine Stiles, Dwayne Koppler, Brenda Chisholm, and others. Lisa Landrigan also, to be a handy person here because they have the ability to fix things and maintain our building. Mitch Brashear, John Merrifield, Kat Presco, James Masters, and others have worked spending many, many hours improving our sound and our live stream capabilities. You probably have also, but I have seen Sue in there cleaning restrooms on a Sunday morning when something didn't get done. And I don't think that's on her job description, and it's not usually expected out of the spiritual leader. But she's willing to jump right in there and do it. Two of our beloveds who have definitely left a legacy here are Harry Sparks and Cheryl Willis. Harry was here almost every day when I joined the staff. He led the Tuesday morning book club. He was the Sunday evening meditation. He served as a receptionist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You couldn't list all the things that Papa Harry did. And you know, I never, ever saw the man frazzled or perturbed over anything. Cheryl, that's why we have the meditation garden named after Cheryl. She was a part-time staff member, and she was a volunteer extraordinaire. We called her St. Cheryl because she was willing to do anything. She would pick up those who had no ride. She'd make hospital visits. She'd cook and take dishes by to people that were shut-ins or had just come off of surgery. She decorated for the holidays and for special occasions. And the list goes on and on. Harry and Cheryl are sorely missed and lovingly missed. They left a legacy here for the rest of us. We are so grateful for all of you that volunteer. And I apologize to past and present volunteers whose names I haven't spoken. but you're in my heart, and we all thank every one of you. Volunteers serve in gratitude for those who came before them and for the joy it brings, just as Simone said in the meditation. There are generations before us, starting in 1933. That's when Christ Church Unity was established. And now we're doing business as Unity of Springfield. So that's how long we've had volunteers. When each of us came here in search of a greater life, an answer for our spiritual questions, or find another way to live our life and address our daily dilemmas, someone had prepared a safe place, a soft place for us to land, and served to greet us, teach us, uphold us when we were floundering, pray for us when we were in chaos. Did you know there is an anonymous prayer chain that their leader, Jane Tyndall, is notified when we are made aware of any health challenges you have, illness, anything that might be going on with you, your friends, your loved ones, loss of loved ones. Jane was their leader when I came on staff over 11 years ago, and she still is. And her team chooses to be anonymous. I don't know who's on the prayer team, but they have been, and Jane takes care of them. And that reminds me of something else. Whoop, that's too far, way too far. There. Please call the church if you have need of prayer, or if you want someone put on the prayer list. You can email the church too, and we check the emails to make sure that we have everyone on the prayer list. I checked it this morning before I came in. And it doesn't matter how minute you think that your prayer request is or how large the need is. We are here for you. We are your prayer partners. And yes, we pray for pets too. It can fall into many, many categories. If it's something you desire, then it's important. The spiritual practice of prayer. Prayer is the basis of the birth of Unity, with Myrtle Fillmore's daily prayers for healing. I find many prayer needs on Facebook. That's how I find out some of our congregants are ill or in the hospital. But Sue and Brandy and I, we're here to hear your pleas and to support you in prayer whenever you need it. Excuse me. When I do find that someone is in need of prayer, when I hear that, see the email or I hear a message, I not only notify Jane Tyndall, and she notifies her prayer chain, but I notify all of the board members. They are also all your prayer members. Do you realize that when we pray for people on Sunday mornings, we only mention their first name? We never go into the dis-ease that they are experiencing right now. This encourages and ensures an anonymity for them and a privacy of their challenges. Many people don't want it discussed among people what's going on in their lives. Some people are very private. Today in Fellowship Hall, we have representatives of the teams who presently are inviting additional volunteers. And you can be a member of one of those teams, and also teams that are not being highlighted today, but we still have the team. Stella Wilbur has become the team leader for the Compassion team, who will make phone calls, provide meals, rides to appointments, rides to church, mail greeting cards, pick up groceries for shut-ins. They are the Connection team. Linda Hilton heads the hospitality team, and she would like those who want to help serve for potlucks, for decorating, preparing, serving, and cleaning up. to join her team. They would also assist when we have a celebration of life and the family wants to have a dinner here. They are the Feed Your Tummies group. Simone Hyde heads up the Usher and Greeter teams, and she can always use additional people to serve and fill in when someone can't come on their scheduled week, and they are only scheduled to do 1 week a month. Lisa Landrigan is our volunteer coordinator, and I was going to have her stand, but I think she's in Fellowship Hall. Stand up in there, Lisa. So if you don't know who she is, we will show you. She is going to be at a table to discuss the needs of the production team. We could use assistance in setting up and live streaming from Fellowship Hall, that adult class that's held in there and is on Facebook Live. And we always can use help on the back row. Thank you, Clay. He's a new addition. And you would be trained. You don't have to come in knowing exactly what to do, but those who are presently serving would be happy to train you. Mary Hilzebeck Huber is going to answer your questions about our outreach and about our overnight shelter. We're in the process of getting all of the inspections and approvals to become a cold weather shelter for overnight guests, and many volunteers will be needed. And there are many areas that you could serve, even if you didn't want to spend the night here. There's lots of other things to do. The reception team. We will be reopening the doors during the week before too long, and we'll need persons to answer the phones, to greet people when they come in the doors, to take messages, answer questions about upcoming events, what time is it and what day is it. The team leader position is open for receptionists, and the team leader would schedule and train new receptionists on a new phone system that I don't even know how to answer the phone. Sunday school helpers. Previously, I mentioned we would like a male and a female back there with the teacher, and when our count doubles, then we want 2 males and 2 females back there to assist our teacher, our Sunday school teachers. And this does not require that you're present 4 Sundays or 5 Sundays a month, but you're committing to be there 1, maybe 2 Sundays a month. Karen Crago is a board member. She heads up our new marketing and publicity team. She is recruiting for members to join her with an interest and expertise in these areas. And there are many new avenues that we want to explore, from what a newsletter will look like now, social media, communication methods, innovative ways to get the word out, who we are and what we're about. Did you hear anything that just kind of tugged on your heartstrings? Or it's an area that you've been thinking, well, I'd like to do that. I can help. Remember, if it adds stress, it's not yours to do. But there will be someone else to fill that niche. If it is something you've always wanted to do, or an area where you want to show your gratitude, it is yours. It is yours to do, even if it's a stretch. Time. Volunteering is not a life sentence. Some areas are for individual events. Some are a certain day at a certain time, and they're weekly or monthly. Some are on call when we need them for special events and special functions. You get to choose how often that you want to come and serve, whether it's once a month or once in a while. What fits your agenda, or what fits your calendar? That's what we want. You're free to contact Lisa or your team member if at the last minute you find you can't be here and you are scheduled. He'll find someone to fulfill your commitment. And that's why it's so important that all of our teams have additional members. other than those that actually have an exact Sunday or an exact day that they're supposed to serve. Because at the last minute, things happen, and we do have to call people in. And I could go on and on and on about the benefits of volunteering. And I didn't make these up. These are substantiated. I read numerous articles, and they list the attributes of volunteering. Social support. Studies show that volunteering helps create a social connection that decreases depression and loneliness. It's particularly beneficial to help older people, like me, and retirees maintain a social network later in life. Cardiovascular health. A Carnegie Mellon study published by the American Psychological Association identified a tentative link between volunteerism and decreased risk of hypertension among adults 50 years and older. The study found that older adults who had volunteered at least 200 hours, that'd be about 4 hours a week, over the course of a year were less likely to develop hypertension than people who didn't volunteer at all. And hypertension is now attacking people younger than 50. A lower mortality rate. Now, what more could you ask for? It improved cardiovascular health is just one of the proven benefits. Also, a decrease in mortality. One study found that those who gave social support to others had lower mortality rates than people who don't volunteer, accounting for factors like class and age. Makes you happy. Think of the last time you were so undeniably happy. What you felt is called the happiness effect. And researchers from the London School of Economics, I'll go through that one again. London School of Economics claims that volunteering creates the happiness effect. People were 7% more likely to say they felt very happy if they volunteered monthly, 12% if they volunteered twice monthly, and 16% when they volunteered weekly. So volunteering decreases loneliness and depression, lowers your blood pressure, decreases the mortality rate, and increases your happiness. These are just a few on the list. And I'm surprised people aren't jumping up and running to the fellowship hall now. But young or old, we all love these benefits. Myrtle Fillmore was one of our co-founders of Unity. And she said, when you develop your soul and express its talents and capabilities in loving service to God and humankind, your temporal needs will be met in bountiful measure. And there are many well-known, revered people who have talked about serving. Albert Schweitzer said, I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I do know, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who will have sought and found ways to serve. Khalil Gibran, he wrote, I slept and I dreamed that life is all joy. I woke and saw that life is all service. I served and I saw that service is joy. Mahatma Gandhi, he said the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Muhammad Ali said service to others is the rent that you pay for being here on earth. Mother Teresa, this is one of my very favorites. The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. And the fruit of service is peace. And I cannot address the subject of volunteering without getting a little bit emotional and verklempt. That's a word that Sue and I like, verklempt. It was a practice that catapulted me in my spiritual growth. I see you checking your watch, and I'll be through in just a minute. This serving, volunteering, catapulted me in my spiritual growth when I first came to Unity. It eased the pain of a failed marriage, bankruptcy, lack of friends, floundering in the church I was brought up in. There was no longer a fit for me there. Serving or volunteering filled a void that all of us feel sometimes. I had no idea that there was something could replace that emptiness. I was lost and I was not exploring. I didn't know up from down, left from right, north from south, east from west. I was totally discombobulated, and I was floating in space with absolutely no tether. When one volunteers, you don't think about the failing hot water heater at home, the balance in your checking book, your unpaid bills, the status of your present job, the wash that's laying on the floor of the bedroom, the oil that needs to be changed in your car, your relationship with your parents or your relationships with your children and grandchildren. Your concerns are lifted from the present. You're filled with love for all those around you that are volunteering with you, most likely, for you and for them. Love. You feel uplifted and free of the chains that bind you. You feel uplifted and euphoric when you volunteer. You feel a joy and you don't know why. You feel hope that leads to faith. And you feel gratitude for all your many blessings. This opportunity is available to you. There's the form we have in Fellowship Hall. And it's not only today, but it's always available to you. So join us in Fellowship Hall to explore the opportunities that are available for you to serve. If today's not the day, we understand, and the opportunity is always open. Oh yes, we have treats in Fellowship Hall to lure you into Fellowship Hall. And for friends at home, volunteers are not limited to the people that come to the church building. We have things that you can do at home, by yourself, on call. So never hesitate. I love you. I bless you. I behold the Christ in you. And as the band comes up and the ushers stand, it's that time in our service when we get to give a little token of our appreciation for the lives that we live, for everything that we have. If you'll join me in the affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.